While we're settling in, I know some of you, but not all of you, have been to sound baths with me before. So if you haven't, the goal is to make yourself as absolutely comfortable and cozy as you possibly can. I really recommend laying down just because it's a long time to sit, especially on a hard floor. But if you want to sit, absolutely possible, maybe just up against the wall for your lumbar support. Feel free to grab at any point extra blankets, extra bolsters. If you want a double layer mat, feel free to grab one of these mats to borrow. We are going to just be getting as comfortable as you can as soon as you'd like to. So our guided meditation will be around an hour tonight. You may notice I have the camera and the microphone. I'm gonna try recording this. We had somebody who really wanted to be here and couldn't. I've never recorded a sound bath before, so I don't really know what the quality is going to be like, but I'm the only one on the camera, so none of you are being recorded, so feel free to just do whatever you want. But it's not like you guys aren't on camera, it's just me and my voice. So yeah, tonight's full moon is called the cold moon. Some of us were talking about it earlier. It's the last full moon of the year, and tonight's meditation is going to kind of touch on some of the things that have to do with the cold moon, as well as just kind of like some other year-end considerations that you may have seen if you looked at the little handout I made. So part of the cold moon is also stillness and introspection. And one of the things I read when I was doing my research is meditation that's not guided by vocalization or visualization. So I am going to have a significant portion or like a chunk of the meditation that is just the singing bowls. So that way you get that kind of really introspective time. So all that being said, please make yourself comfortable and just start to settle into your body. Just like any meditation, I would offer that you start tonight by focusing on your body. Take a moment to adjust the tilt of your pelvis, untuck your shoulders. Start to notice if you maybe need additional props or blankets. If you need to reposition your clothing, your hair, get out any little itches or fidgets. Try to do those things sooner than later, just so that they don't become distracting. This doesn't mean that you can't move later on, but if you do need to reposition yourself at any point, try to do so slowly and mindfully. That way you don't disturb the inner stillness that you've created. And know that just like any other practice we do together, anything I offer is simply a suggestion. If your mind takes you other places, feel free to go there. And if you fall asleep, you're still getting all the benefits of the vibrations around you. If you haven't already, start to take a couple of deeper, fuller breaths. On your inhales, feel the gentle rise of your chest, your belly. The expansion of your breath along your upper back. On your exhales, think of releasing any distractions, whatever might be pulling you into the future or the past. Remind yourself that the ultimate goal this evening is simply to be present with yourself. And just by showing up for yourself tonight, you've already accomplished a lot. There's no need for you to control, do, or achieve this evening. Take this time to allow yourself to just be and receive. As we acknowledge and honor tonight's full moon, the cold moon, the final full moon of this calendar year, the cold moon invites us to do some deep introspection, some self-study, some inventory. So as we start that process, can you begin to reflect on the lessons that this year has brought you? You might start by thinking of your work, your family, your friends, your personal relationships, lessons that you've learned about yourself, how you've grown, how you've changed, how you've evolved from the person you were at the start of 2025. What activities or events have taught you more about yourself? Are these things that you planned, goals that you worked toward, projects you started and made progress on or even finished? Are these things that life, the universe, God kind of put into your lap that you didn't expect? Maybe it's a mixture of both. What stands out to you now? What's the biggest change that's transpired within yourself over the course of the last year? What brought that change to fruition? How do you feel about it? Can you accept the person that you are now and release with gratitude who you no longer are? "2025 was also the year of the snake in the Chinese zodiac. Like the snake, are you ready to shed your skin? To leave behind whatever no longer serves you, the version of yourself that you no longer are, and move forward into the coming year, a fresh version of yourself. I'm grateful for our past, for getting us to where we are now. But knowing that what got us here won't necessarily get us where we need to go or want to go. Are you ready to leave behind some of those old patterns and old ways of doing things? What does that look like for you? Another aspect of this cold moon is stillness. In nature, this is a time of hibernation. Creatures in the wild conserve their energy by doing less. In this season, what are ways you can conserve your energy? Where might you be doing too much? This is also the time in the calendar where we tend to be bombarded by events, parties, commitments, plans, end of year chores. Can you give yourself the permission to be okay with saying no? Giving yourself permission to rest, to recharge. gather your energy for the coming new year ahead. How can you be strategic with your commitments to yourself and to others? What does that look like for you? Is there anywhere in your life where you're going above and beyond? That energy isn't being reciprocated. Not that you have to cut ties completely, but can you reevaluate your investment right now? This full moon is also the Gemini full moon, which means it's the time to communicate our needs. If there's something you've been avoiding saying to someone or an issue that you've put off addressing, now's the time to do it. You might even take your attention, your awareness to your third chakra, your throat chakra. Your fifth chakra, your throat chakra. Right at the base of your neck, which correlates to the frequency that you're hearing now. And see if there are any words or thoughts or ideas that come up here. Things that might be unsaid that are ready to come to the surface. Maybe these are things that need to be addressed with other people. Maybe these are things that you need to say to yourself. Is there anything that you've been distracting yourself from or avoiding that needs to be communicated before this year is over? Now is the time. Remind yourself that your voice matters, that no one has a perspective quite like yours. To honor your voice, how you show up in life. To speak your truth. To be your authentic self, because the world needs you. Another facet of the cold moon is allowing ourselves to explore the darker sides of ourselves. Things that we may typically think of as negative emotions or feelings that we might push away or avoid. Can you give yourself permission to love those harder parts of yourself? You might take your attention to your fourth chakra, your heart chakra, the center of love for yourself, for others, the love you allow yourself to receive. And see if there's anything you've been avoiding. Jealousy, anger, insecurity, resentment, guilt, fear. What does that feel like in your heart? Do you have a hard time loving those parts of yourself? Accepting or admitting that they even exist? And in this season where the days are shorter, the nights are longer, there's a little more darkness around us, can you start to embrace that darkness within yourself? Realize that maybe those are things that at one point or another serve to protect you, keep you safe, to try to prevent harm to your heart, your mind, your body. Can you love the parts of yourself that aren't always easy to love? And as you go through this season now through the end of the year, when those negative or darker emotions come up, can you challenge yourself to sit with them instead of immediately pushing them away or trying to hide them? Can you ask yourself why? Where is this coming from? Can you accept yourself with a sense of serenity rather than a sense of fear or avoidance? This full moon is our last moon, our last full moon of the calendar year. At the end of this cycle, what other cycles are you ready to leave behind? What patterns, what programs, what habits are best left in 2025? And even if you don't like to do resolutions for the new year, what would you like to see for yourself in the year ahead? I'd invite you to picture the most authentic, most fulfilled, most joyful version of you this time next year. See if you can actually visualize her right now. Does she look any different, whether physically, energetically? How does it feel to be around her? What has she done over the course of 2026 to get her to that place? What's shifted? What's changed? Has she created new habits or made different choices for herself? Did she have to leave certain things behind? You might even ask your future self, what's the biggest change that you made over the course of the last year? You might also ask her, what was the smallest change you made? You might ask your future self, what's the one thing I should know going into the year ahead? Your future self wants to remind you that happy, fulfilled, joyful version of you already exists within you. She's just waiting to connect with you. That power is already yours. As you continue this journey of silent introspection, let's briefly recount some of the reminders this cold moon has given us. Think of the lessons that you cultivated this year. Imagine them as seeds that you've planted that might be dormant during this season. They're ready to take root in the year ahead. Acknowledge with gratitude the things you're ready to leave behind. a snake shedding its skin what no longer serves you. Can you honor and appreciate the past versions of yourself, knowing that it's time to grow into something new? Reminding yourself that growth is not a constantly upward path. And just like the winter season, we need time to rest, to hibernate. In what areas of your life can you do less? Where are you overextending yourself or burning yourself out? How can you make your growth, your path, your purpose more sustainable? What does that look like for you in the coming months? Are you able to set those boundaries with yourself and with others? Expressing your needs in this Gemini full moon. Communicating your truth, your power, your experience. Stepping into your authentic self. Listening to your inner voice, your inner wisdom. Expressing whatever it is that needs to come out. Knowing that that process may not always be pleasant. We might have to confront parts of ourselves that we've been avoiding. Can you sit with the discomfort, with the parts of yourself that aren't as easy to love? Knowing that every part of you serves your purpose. All of it is crucial to get you to that most fulfilled, most joyful, most loving version of your future self. It's just waiting to be unveiled. She's already within you. For the next few minutes, I'd like you to explore those ideas or whatever else comes up, knowing that you don't have to force anything to happen. There's nothing to prove, nothing to achieve, nothing to do. Can you give yourself this next little bit of time to just be, receive, and rest? That's what this season and this full moon is about. See if you can take a moment here to feel that deep sense of rest. Embrace being silent, being still. Resist any urge to rush, to reawaken. Give yourself permission to come back to this place anytime you need it. Knowing that there is truly no rush to reawaken this evening. If you are ready to bring awareness back to your body, start by deepening your breath. I challenge you to move as slowly, as consciously as you can. When you start to invite gentle movement into your fingers, your toes, or however else you choose to express yourself. Taking a moment to feel that sense of being recharged, like you're awakening from a hibernation. Feeling that deep sense of rest in whatever way suits you. Maybe that's a long body stretch, giving yourself a hug, or whatever else feels good to you tonight. And again, knowing you're welcome to stay resting, please do so. But if you're ready to wake up, just rock gently onto one side to start. A moment there to really thank yourself for taking this time tonight to journey inward. That itself is a huge victory. And eventually, if you choose to, we'll meet eyes closed, hands at heart center, in whatever comfortable seat feels best for you. Thank you all so much for taking this journey inward tonight, for exploring those parts of ourselves, acknowledging our growth over the last year, ready to release what no longer serves us, and recharge for the year ahead. The highest and brightest in me honors and bows to the highest and brightest in each of you. As we bring our hands to third eye center, and bow forward to one another. Namaste.